You're checking your ex's social media, trying to find out if that girl in the background is just a friend. Your bestie says things like,
"You look good today. Did you gain weight? I love how you don't even try. You're so introvert."
and you laugh it off like it didn't land exactly where it was meant to. You are rereading old messages, replaying old conversations in your head, and convince yourself that this time you overreacted. This time you were being too much. Congratulations, girl. You're hating yourself. The good thing, you don't hate yourself on purpose. Once you see the pattern clearly, you can decide to either break it or stay the same pathetic girl that you're right now. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel if you're new here. My name is Michaela, and just to say from the very get-go, I don't want to offend you to make you feel bad. I want that my words hit right there where they should, because you're here on this channel to grow, become a better version of yourself, and create the life you want. Very important side note, you cannot live the life you want if you treat yourself like an unimportant peasant or side character that does not deserve everything you desire. Now, that's why in today's video I want to get into self-sabotage, because self-sabotage is not just some fancy word that we are using on social media to make things sound more intelligent. No, self-sabotage is real, okay? So the first thing I want you to understand is that many times self-sabotage comes from our emotions and us reacting to emotions, right? Now, let's say you are triggered because you are on the phone with your ex-partner.
I don't know why you're on the phone with him.
And you hear some feminine voice in the background, you're getting instantly triggered and thinking, who is this? Is this his new girlfriend? I want to know who this is. And you're asking him, who is this girl? What is she doing there? Are you having a new girlfriend? And he's obviously lying. You're getting angry because he's not telling you the truth.
That, to be honest, he does not even owe you. You're not together anymore.
Anyways, you are triggered and your body is reacting to that trigger with an emotion. Sadness, anger, disappointment, frustration. Now you can either choose to react on those emotions, which would be asking him who this girl is, why he is not being honest with you, trying to play detective and find out what is happening, what he is really up to, where he is, or you try to understand what this emotion is telling you. If it's anger, it's telling you to move, to change something. It is energy that you can put into something else. Is it sadness? It's telling you that you need to look deeper. You need to understand what exactly is so painful. Self-sabotage can look for everyone completely different, because maybe your ways of sabotaging yourself is my way of dealing with something healthy and the other way around. In any way, we are self-sabotaging. And I think, I'm pretty sure you know where you're sabotaging. When you're more spending time worrying about something, ruminating your thoughts about what is wrong, what could happen wrong, how bad your life is, and how much better it could be, then you're definitely sabotaging yourself, okay? The thing is, you choose where you put your energy and attention into, right? Now, if you keep on reacting to emotions without understanding why this emotion arises and what it actually is and what does it tell you, what is it here for, then of course you tend to put your energy into things that are not creating the life you want to have. You're putting your energy into those emotions, and those emotions create a life that feels like you are a passenger of it. You're passively in this life that is happening to you. But once you understand, hey, this emotion is just an emotion, it arises, but it does not determine what I do right now, what I say right now, how I act right now, then you start to create the life you want. That's the point when you start to understand you are the director and creator of the life you want, and it all starts with your emotions. Now, let's say you are talking to your ex on the phone for whatever reason. You're talking to him and you hear some female voice in the background. You're asking him. He says, no, of course not. There was no woman. There was no female voice. This is all in your imagination. You know he's lying. Now you have two options. You are getting angry, start an argument, want to prove your point that you are right and he needs to tell you right now what's the truth. Or you understand these emotions arise for a reason. Yes, but it does not mean you need to react to them as they happen right in front of you. Think about you wanting to be more fit, going to the gym. When the emotion arises that you're sad, that you're frustrated, that you're bored, you suddenly do not want to go to the gym anymore. You want to sit at home, chill, relax, and do nothing. But ultimately, you're sabotaging yourself because you are reacting right onto this emotion without even understanding what this emotion wants to tell you. So instead, you can do the exact opposite. You do what you logically know you want. When you have a long-term vision and you know where you want to go in life, then obviously it's more easy to not react to those emotions in the moment and understand what you want long term is way more important. It has a bigger weight than the short term gratification on reacting on that emotion. Another thing is that every time you are reacting on this emotion, obviously something always turns out in a bad way. Let's say you're starting now this argument with your ex, he's starting to argue back, you're starting crying, you're having a bigger argument. Worst case, it takes hours for you to settle this argument, or maybe you never settle this argument. At the end of the day, you spend so much time on something that does nothing to your future. Or do you want to have arguments with your ex-partner that you deep down know is not meant for you?
You want to have those in your future? No, you don't.
There are men waiting for you won't have any argument with. They love you the right way, okay? So you need to really understand your emotions and what they are here for, and that you are not your emotion. Your emotions are part of you. They are your experience. But the same way as you experience a movie or something on the TV, it does not impact your life if you do not let it. It's very, very important that you feel them, because emotions not being felt, not being expressed, are emotions that are staying stuck in the body. Feel the anger, feel the sadness, feel the frustrating and overwhelming chattering of your mind. Feel it, but withstand reacting to it. Withstand pushing it away. Sit with it. Sit with that discomfort. That's how you process your emotions. Another way is to walk them out. Walk your emotions out. That's my absolute favorite. I put on some music and I go for a walk, a fast walk. I completely zone out. I do not recognize even anyone around me. I just walk and I process my emotions. I feel how I go from being so happy, being so grateful, to feeling so sad, to feeling rage, anger, sadness, frustration. I go through all of the emotions that are stuck in my body. I realize that every time I feel something in my body, I feel tension in my knees, I feel tension in my neck, I feel tension in my shoulders. That's a sign for me that emotions are stuck in my body and they need to get out. They're getting out with either meditating or doing some workout, yoga, walking, running. You need to get those emotions out. If you do not get them out, you will feel it in your body, and your body is always vocalizing what's wrong. You just need to listen to it. And let's be honest, this is difficult. It's difficult for me every time emotions are coming up to not react on those emotions without suppressing and avoiding them completely. Sometimes I feel my emotions coming up. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. I feel sad. And I know reacting to that emotion right now would not be beneficial for me and my life. So what I do sometimes is to avoid them completely. I go into my phone and scroll on social media. I do numbing. That's what many people do. We are doing emotional numbing with alcohol, cigarettes, social media, food, with consuming behaviors. The most important thing is that at some point you are listening to it, okay? Listen to the signs your body gives you. Listen to the pain you have in your body. When you are feeling pain in your throat, it's not by chance, by accident, or because of the weather. It's most likely because you're not speaking your truth. It's most likely because you're swallowing down things you do not want to swallow. It's most likely because people keep disrespecting you and you do not open your mouth to defend yourself. If you feel pain in your shoulders, What's so heavy on your shoulders? What are you carrying that is so heavy? Ask yourself, why do I feel this pain? What am I carrying? If you feel pain in your knees, guess what? You do not want to move on in life. You are traumatized by something where you could not move on in life. And you're sabotaging yourself by not moving, by not letting those emotions flow out. I'm going for a walk, knee pain is gone. If it's coming back, I know exactly there is an emotion still stuck. I need to do something. I do yoga. Yoga helps me so much and helped me so much throughout my life, through every heartbreak, through every trauma, through every challenge in my life. I was doing yoga. Why? Because our emotions, our traumas are stuck in our muscles, literally. You're going to do yourself a big favor if you listen to the signs your body gives you. Now, the next thing is that sometimes we're attaching these desires, goals, to unrealistic expectations on how it will change our life. Now, be clear, there is no unrealistic goal or desire that you can have. Everything you desire, you actually can achieve and have. But there is an unrealistic expectation, okay? What I mean by that is, for example, you think that once you have that partner that loves you forever, you will finally not be depressive anymore. Once you have that amount of money in your bank account, you will finally feel free. You will finally feel relaxed. Once you finally have 1 million views and subscribers, you will finally feel worthy of creating more content. You will finally feel cherished and loved. These are unrealistic expectations, because if you do not feel that right now, nothing external will ever make you feel that way.
You will probably think now I'm crazy, but I'm not. It's the truth, okay?
I have experienced it myself many times, and I was wondering, why am I still feeling this way? Now I have this amount of money in my bank account. I still feel like I'm not safe. I'm not free. I still feel that same feeling. And this is exactly why many people burn out. They think something in the external will make them be relieved from all their worries, and that's just not the case. Now, let's say you have this unrealistic goal that once you're being loved the right way, you're finally seeing your value and not being depressive anymore. Of course, every single rejection will feel more terrifying, because it will make you feel like, oh my god, I will be depressive for the rest of my life. I will never see my true value. So you're literally kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. And of course, when this basket with all your eggs, all your hopes, all your desires is slightly threatened, you're going crazy, you're going insane, and that's the way you're going to sabotage yourself. And the truth is that dating is trial and error. You will experience rejection if you want it or not. Now, to protect yourself, your brain has to validate that experience with saying all men are trash, or being jealous. Whenever you see someone being in a healthy, successful relationship, you think something must be wrong. They are not happy, they just act like they are happy. Everywhere you see a confirmation of what your root belief in that case is. For example, healthy love does not exist, and then even when you're in a relationship, you're sabotaging that relationship because your brain cannot even comprehend that state of having. You have been so long in the state of wanting something that is life-changing, your brain can simply not comprehend that state of actually having it. And then facing the truth that with having it, it actually did not save you from your depression. It actually did not completely change your life, your state of being. This is again the confirmation that true love doesn't exist and men are all trash. And that's when you start to sabotage the relationship, doubting your partner, not trusting your partner for no reason at all, simply not even getting into a relationship, so on and so forth. Another thing is that sometimes we sabotage because of familiar patterns, meaning that if you are used to relationships that are abusive and toxic, of course you are going to choose abusive and toxic partners in the future if you do not start to heal that pattern. Let's say you have been through a relationship when you were younger and this boy broke your heart completely. It shattered into pieces. Close your eyes and re-experience that moment when your heart broke. Re-experience every single moment and feel that feeling again. But act in a different way. Act with that mindset that you have today, with the understanding that that time you were acting exactly from that perspective and point of view, with the mindset you had that day, that time and year. You were acting as the best version of yourself that time, and now you were growing, evolving, you have a different mindset. You can react to this circumstance, to this heartbreak in a different way. And that's exactly how you rewire your brain, so you're not choosing any more toxic, abusive patterns. Of course, this is not a one-time thing. Maybe you need to go through different experiences over and over again until there is no emotional reaction anymore. The next step is then to re-experience and re-establish trust in that field. Let's go back to relationships. You have been traumatized. The only way how you can heal that pattern is through having a healthy relationship, okay? Many people, including me, are trying to compensate that missing trust, for example, in relationships, with earning a lot of money or having a lot of success. You cannot compensate that. It's impossible. You need to re-establish the trust in the field where you lost it. Now, that's another way of self-sabotaging. If you're trying to gain trust in relationships by earning more money, that's how men do it, right? Many men, they're just traumatized, they are insecure, they're scared of pain, maybe they have been heartbroken once. Now what they're doing, trying to overcompensate with making a lot of money, and they think this will get them the trust from the woman, and this will get them the woman that will never leave, which is not true, okay? You cannot heal the pattern from one place with overcompensating in another place. The thing I want you to take away from this video is that every time you're experiencing a wave of emotion, instead of reacting to it, give yourself a few seconds and ask yourself, why do I feel this and what does it want to tell me? Because even our self-sabotaging behaviors are telling us something, even if it's not an emotion. But for example, overworking. If you're constantly overworking just to be busy, this is self-sabotaging. If doing more work would make you more money and more successful, construction workers would be the richest people on earth. Doing more than necessary is most of the time a sabotaging behavior to get you busy, to not make you look inside what's missing. When you're looking for things outside, trying to fill that hole with things from outside, being busy, money, food, consume, phone, social media, all you're trying is to fill that hole that you have inside from outside. And even though that's satisfying for a quick moment, even though that feels good for a while, you are not going to feel well long term, and you're definitely not building the life you desire. You do not want a life working 24/7. You want to relax. Even though it might feel good now to work a lot, do a lot, you get some success, at some point you will burn out and you want to slow down. At some point you will want maybe a family, you want to spend time with your friends, but you won't even allow yourself to do that because of that self-sabotaging behavior. It's going to tell you that you are not going to be successful if you're not doing everything possible 24/7. If you're sleeping too much, you're not going to be successful. These are self-sabotaging thoughts. If you don't understand your behavior, it creates thoughts, and those thoughts, of course, are creating your reality. If you keep thinking that you're not going to be successful, if you keep being jealous of people that have what you want instead of being inspired by them, you're not going to get what they have. If you keep attaching bad emotions, thoughts, and behaviors to the things you want, you are not going to get it. And that's why I told you, if you keep doing things that won't get you closer to the goals and life and desires you want, you're actually hating yourself. You're giving yourself a permission slip to be miserable and pathetic. And this is not the permission slip you want. All in all, I want you to understand that self-sabotage is real and we are all doing it. It's just a question of how do you want to deal with it in the future? What do you want to change? How do you want to go about things? And how do you want to create your life and make it happen in your favor and for you instead of letting it happen to you? Anyways, guys, I hope this could help. Thank you so much for watching and I see you in my next video. Bye bye.